Hey guys, Mike here. So, with the uptick in carjackings in our area and how it is not necessarily uh, exclusive to major metropolitan areas, I figured, especially after seeing some of the police recommendations on this current situation, I figured it might be a good idea to do a video and provide some information to everyone out there. I see a lot of people's Facebook posts, and like I said, some of the police recommendations are to fully comply and don't resist, and then everything from people posting, well, I'll just blow their heads off. Um, Probably not a great thing to post on the internet where everyone can see, but we'll dip into that a little bit later. So I would probably say the best thing that you can do is right now is to initiate as many preventative measures as possible. So what I mean by this is to up your situational awareness, or if you don't have a situational awareness, um, start working on one and develop one. Criminals are very good at what we call victim selection. So they will watch, your cars, they'll watch you in the grocery stores, they'll watch you in the parking lots, and they will figure out who is going to be the easiest person for them to rob, steal, whatever it is that they maliciously want to do. So they will see the difference between a 200-pound, 6-foot-tall man looking around at everything in the parking lot on his way back from the grocery store, and compare that to, your 100-pound woman who is fumbling through her purse and has her keys in one hand and on the phone, in the other, all while she's trying to open the door to her car. We think that criminal is going to pick as their target someone who they potentially have to fight, or someone who is not paying attention to anything, and may not even notice if they grab a purse. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to up our situational awareness. So from what I've seen, they have a specific type of vehicle, manufacturer, brand that they've been targeting in our areas: Dodge, Jeeps, Chryslers, things like that. So if you have one of those vehicles, you might want to be a little bit more aware of what's going on. Warming up your cars, exiting and entering your cars, something to definitely pay attention to. First of all, don't ever leave your keys in the car when it's warming up. Those that have keys, a lot are push start now, or push button start. So obviously with that, if you start your car, the doors of the car stay locked. But if somebody is on that street monitoring, the cars and picking their marks, the one that's started and running is going to be something that's going to call to their attention. So it's something that you're really going to have to pay attention to when you're coming in and out of the house, warming your car up, getting ready to go to work in the morning. Flashlights are your friend. I don't know about you, but when I leave for work in the morning, it's still dark outside. So there's nothing wrong with having your flashlight out, pointing it, around your front yard, down your street. I'll save you the blinding light. Just pay attention to what's going on around you and on your street. Is there a car parked on the street that you don't remember being there, or it doesn't look familiar to what some of your neighbors might drive? Is it running? You can see a lot of the exhaust coming off the car now because it's so cold. So it's really easy to notice if a car is running. Is there someone sitting in the car? What are they doing? So there's going to be a lot more things that you'll have to pay attention to aside from your phone as you walk out to your car. Again, victim selection. Make yourself a hard target, and just pay attention to what's going on. Driving is another thing that you're really going to want to pay attention to as well. And I know in my state, and I don't know, probably a lot of others, it's illegal to be on your phone without a Bluetooth device. Definitely not texting and driving, which I still see all the time when I drive. especially at stoplights. So one of the other popular things that these criminals are doing is giving you the Fender Bender. So they'll come up, tap you from behind, wait till you pull over, get out of the car, and take your car and everything else that you have with you, and possibly your life. So you're really going to have to start paying attention at stoplights. Instead of checking your Facebook messages when you're at the stoplight, look around. Now, when I say situational awareness, and this is something that I teach, and we'll go into more during one of our classes. So, what you want to do is not be paranoid, right? So you're not thinking like every car that pulls up to you is going to be, oh, they're going to take my car, they're going to rob me. You just need to pay attention to what's going on around you. When you're at that stoplight, you can look around, look at the car next to you, to your left, to your right, behind you, and just get a quick read. Maybe see what kind of car is it, what does the person look like that's driving it, are there any passengers, things like that. You don't have to have this huge sense of everybody's coming for me. You just need to know what's going on around you. Where are you? If, God forbid, you did get carjacked at a stoplight, do you know exactly what street that you're on? So, all things to pay attention to, and make sure you're just in the moment and you know what's happening. I would say you also want to develop, if you haven't already, your tactical preparedness. So this isn't, get your vest on and everything when you're going to and from work. This is more, what's your plan? Tactical meaning, what is your plan if something happens? So like I said, a lot of people that I see posting these Facebook messages is just, I'll just blow their head off when they get to my car, or if they're trying to take my car. Shooting someone over property is a really shitty feeling, morally, legally. If you feel like your life is in danger and you have to fight, you're going to have to make that decision when that happens. But posting what you would do in a public forum where everybody can screen capture it and it'll never go away it's just a bad idea. If, God forbid, you do ever end up in that situation, you have to go to court, you don't want to make it any more difficult for your defense. And having someone bring up a screenshot of a post of something you said you would do just won't be good. So recommend not doing it. But anyways, back to the tactical planning of it. So, how often do you even train with your concealed carry firearm? If you take it out once a year, you never practice drawing from a holster, you never practice dry firing or anything like that. Drawing from a holster while seated in your car in below zero temperature is going to be the shittiest of conditions that you've ever possibly put yourself in. And having not trained in over a year, it's just a really bad spot. So I would start up your training. Once a week, dry fire, draw from the holster. Get a chair in your dry fire location and practice drawing from that holster in a seated position, like if you were from your car. Maybe take your concealed carry pistol out and shoot it if you haven't in a long time, which if you haven't, shame on you. But I know prices on ammunition and availability of ammunition is just ridiculous, so that's why I'm really like to stress the dry fire. But you gotta go put a few rounds through your concealed carry pistol every once in a while. Especially keep up on your training and take classes. Which is going to be the biggest thing of all. So right now with the ammunition shortage, you can take a force on force class to go over a lot of these scenarios, carjacking scenarios, and just a general concealed carry preparedness as well. So strongly recommend training at this point, and always as well. So like I said before, at least 2 different police departments were stating that don't resist, give them what they want. Probably more of a political statement than it is an individual police officer statement. Judging from the ones that I know, they would probably never tell you, bend over for the criminal. But that being said, drawing a concealed carry pistol on a criminal that has a gun pointed in your face will probably not end up in your favor. So you like I said, tactically, you have to think about these scenarios and figure out a plan, just as you have a home safety plan or a home defense plan or an evacuation plan in case of fires or tornadoes. This is just another thing that you should already have in your toolbox to help you be better prepared if something like this were to happen. There's a lot of factors in that type of scenario, especially if you're at a stoplight. You have a lot of bystanders around you, a lot of cars maybe directly next to you or in front of you or behind you or across the intersection. Think about these things. Decide if you are confident enough in your marksmanship to take that shot in that type of an environment. What's your backstop going to be when you shoot? Is it a car with kids in it? Something that you really have to think about. The other thing, with don't resist, that I don't like is every scenario is going to be a little bit different. If you have kids in the car, you're not going to let that person take your car and take your kids with you, or with your car, I should say, not with you. So your only option at that point is going to be to fight. So I don't want you to survive your fight. I want, like I said, God forbid if you do end up in something like this, I want you to win. I want you to destroy the piece of shit that tried to take your life. I don't want you to barely make it out, with your life. The best situation for all of this is, the best way to win a gunfight is to not be in one. So that's why the primary thing that we want to do is we want to keep our situational awareness. Try to not be in that situation. Trying to think of anything that I might have forgotten. Keep your distance in traffic when you're driving. I know our state really likes to be, 3 inches from the person in front of us, but you're going to want to leave like a car's length away from the person in front of you. So if something were to happen, and this is not just in carjacking sense, but in sense of emergency accidents, things like that, if you're paying attention, you could potentially see things that could occur as far as a car accident goes. And that space that you give yourself between your car and the vehicle in front of you might be life-saving space for you to escape and evade, someone trying to attack you or shoot you, or an accident that could be coming up that you saw because you were paying attention. So, cycle through all these things. Like I said, don't make it a paranoia thing. Don't make it, every person that pulls up to me is going to try to take my car. Look at it from just another preparedness perspective. Like I said, just like a fire drill in your house it's just another added defense and preparation that you should have into your toolbox for everyday living. So like I said, I see those police articles and say don't resist, but yes, property's not worth taking a life or losing a life over, obviously. But everybody's situation is going to be different. Like I said, kids in the car, they start shooting at you, they drive away and they're shooting at you. There's a lot of things that are going on here. And like I said before, I don't want you to escape this with your, with barely your life, wounded and shot. I want you to win if you are to get in a fight, or like I said, the best way to win a gunfight is not be in one, and I want you to win. So get your dry fire drills in, get your draw drills in, get your seated dry fire drills in. get some training, get a plan. Otherwise, be safe, be comfortable, be confident, and thanks for watching.